What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It has been a minute. If you're new to the channel, it's been about 3.5 weeks since I uploaded a video, which is a long time for me. I'm not someone who typically posts sporadically, but I wanted to go ahead and take a little bit of a hiatus. Not for any other reason, just other than that, I wanted to go ahead and finish up this park. This is my Westworld theme park build. This is episode 10 or 9 or somewhere in there. And I wanted to go ahead and just finish the whole park. It's an 80 by 80, so it did take a while, and that's mainly why it's been so long since I've made a video, just because this park is really big and it took a while to finish it completely. So just kind of get that out of the way. And I had a few talking points that I wanted to get into in this video. Typically when I'm recording, I'll just kind of narrate to what's going on in the video rather than having talking points, but in this one I thought it might be a good time to give a little channel update, seeing as how this video is going to be quite a bit longer than any of my other episodes. So I figured while the time lapse happens in front of you, I'll just kind of go ahead and go over some things that have been happening and some things that I wanted to kind of go over as far as the future of the channel. If you are subscribed to my channel, you're probably also subscribed to Marcel Voss. He was a very popular Rollercoaster Tycoon YouTuber. I watched all his videos, and he's really great at what he does. He makes really technical Rollercoaster Tycoon videos, and he's very good at the game, and with scenario play especially. So he recently posted a video kind of discussing why he posts pretty sporadically, and he was saying that he was kind of feeling some burnout in terms of playing Rollercoaster Tycoon. He didn't really enjoy the game anymore, and he was kind of struggling to enjoy making videos every week. And I can kind of echo those sentiments. Not quite as much. I don't know if I feel quite as much of the burnout as he maybe was feeling at the time, but I can definitely say that playing the same game constantly and doing kind of the same thing over and over again does kind of get tedious after a while. And I definitely saw where he was coming from, and I've been kind of feeling that stress as well, just a little bit. Definitely not to the place where I want to stop playing the game and stop making videos about it. I definitely still plan on making videos on Rollercoaster Tycoon, but I did want to kind of throw in some other games here and there. Obviously, I've tried that in the past. I tried to make some Stardew Valley videos, and needless to say, they did not perform super great. I kind of haven't found my niche yet in terms of how to mix in my other games into my channel yet, but that is something I definitely want to do. The just playing Rollercoaster Tycoon every single week and making a Rollercoaster Tycoon video every single week does start to wear on you a little bit, and it is something that I would like to change. And even if it's playing the Rollercoaster Tycoon 3, I recently got Rollercoaster Tycoon 3 on the Switch, and I thought maybe that might be a good way to kind of break up the pattern a little bit. Maybe I'll play some Rollercoaster Tycoon 3, maybe maybe play some other games that involve a building element of some kind, a creative building element. And I thought that might be a good place to start. So that's kind of where I'm headed right now, is definitely going to play some more other games. And when I talk about kind of the burnout part of this video, I definitely, that definitely kind of applies to the scenery series that I have. I know it's pretty popular. I think people kind of enjoy it, but I have kind of gotten to the point where I'm like, it's kind of starting to repeat itself a little bit, where I kind of do the same thing over and over again. It's sort of like, all right, make a building, trees, terrain, done. And it's nice to have a short little video to kind of post every once in a while to kind of break up these long technical videos, but I have found that making those scenery videos, it's starting to kind of, the creative aspect of it is kind of, it's kind of run its course a little bit. There are ways I can make it a little bit more creative, but I would like to just use a different canvas, if you will, a different game, a different engine, just something else, a different way to be creative and build things. There's definitely other ways to do it, and I would like to explore those things. So also, as this channel grows and hopefully gets more interesting over time, I would like to hear from if you guys would like me to play a certain specific game that maybe you enjoy, something that you might think I might enjoy, something creative, something involving building. It is hard hat gaming after all. And that is something else I kind of wanted to get into, is the fact that it is called hard hat gaming. I didn't put Rollercoaster Tycoon in the name of my channel on purpose because I thought maybe I'll play some other games in the future. I left it open to that. And I think now is kind of the time to do it. I've established myself as a Rollercoaster Tycoon person, and I think that's really great. But at the same time, it is nice to sort of branch out. So, I kind of said that already, but, this is kind of free-flowing. I'm just sort of free-flowing ideas here. But again, if you have a game that you would like me to play that you think that I might enjoy, or something that might be interesting, feel free to leave it in the comments down below. I have a bunch of games in my Steam library that I would love to throw on the channel that I think might be interesting. Just some like early access stuff and some, just some small indie games that I've downloaded and have kind of enjoyed. So again, yeah, just leave those in the comments below if you have anything in particular. So that's kind of the future of this channel for now. Obviously it's a work in progress, and I don't think any of us really know what we're planning on doing when we start a channel, and I don't think anyone actually sticks to their first plan right away. So I think this is just sort of a natural progression, and I definitely will not abandon Rollercoaster Tycoon 2. I'll definitely keep playing some Open RCT 2 now and then, and honestly more than now and then. I think it'll be still primarily that, but I do need to take a break from it now and then. I might bump down the amount of Rollercoaster Tycoon series into maybe I'll do a park build and maybe I'll do a scenario play, and then the rest I can leave to a different kind of video or something like that. And I do like the viewer suggested designs. I do enjoy those videos, so I might throw those videos in now and then. But yeah, I think that's a solid 7 minutes of where the channel's going, where we're headed. And again, it's only about 150 of you guys subscribed, and I appreciate that you're all subscribed. I didn't think I'd get there, but at the same time, it's a small group. I think it's going to be pretty inconsequential either way. So let's get into actually the point of this video, which is the park build. It came along pretty nicely. There's over 3 hours of footage in this video. I had to speed it up 1,200 times in this time lapse, so it goes real fast, and it is what it is. But I did want to go ahead and just finish the whole thing, and I found that when I was building this park, I was coming back to it after I'd come back to it after like a month, and I'd try and build something, and I found this to be sort of the most difficult series for me. It was really hard to just come back every once in a while, build a small piece, stop, not play it for a while, come back, build another small piece, and just doing that over and over again. It felt like it would take forever to finish the park. So I wanted to go ahead and just put all my focus into this, really make it really good. I didn't want to completely abandon it because I know there's some people that really wanted to see the end of it and see how it looked when it was done. And so I wanted to go ahead and at least do that. Just go ahead and finish this series up. Maybe, or at least just finish this park build up and maybe move on to a new project. That's something that's very exciting to me. I want to do something new. I'm not sure what that is yet, but yeah. So the main thing in this series was, in this series of recordings, was I really wanted to just create some unity in this park. It was very disjointed. I may not have seemed that way in these episodes. It kind of seemed like it was pretty cohesive, but to me, I felt like there was a lot of areas for improvement. There was a lot of things that, I wish I'd done differently, and things that now looking back at it, I go, I don't like the way that looks. But, I didn't want to just completely scrap everything. So I left the things that I felt were at least passable and things that I felt pretty okay with. I tried to leave everything as it was at the beginning, and then add on to it and kind of connect all the pieces together and just fill up the rest of the park. I did make some good progress before this, but I mean, at the rate I was going, it looked like it was going to be about, I think I did the math, it was going to be about another 2 months before I actually finished this whole series. So I figured this was a good time to end it. All right. But yeah, so, I added this ride in here. This is called Excavator. It's just a vertical drop coaster that goes into sort of a red rock canyon, which will come in later. But yeah, like I said, I'm trying to add some unity in here, a little bit more cohesion, I guess. And I started off kind of doing just like I wanted it to look rocky and whatever. But I thought, you know what, there's that one area with the Red Rock Canyon, and it's kind of all off by itself. And it's not really, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense just out there by itself. So I thought I'd build another ride with that same sort of theme with the Red Rock scenery pieces. And later on, you'll kind of see that. First off, I wanted to go ahead and just build some more food and drink stalls. So I added another saloon. Pretty much same design, just a different color palette, different color scheme. It's a different part of the park. And I think that's a good way to, like, some people kind of, I had a comment recently, I posted the finished product of this park on Reddit, and someone had said that they have trouble when it's, like, high concept like this, when it's a big, huge park, finding unity and finding, you know, like, it tends to become disjointed for them, that's what they said. And so, one thing that's really easy, an easy way to kind of create unity, but, you know, also make it look interesting, is one thing you can do is just keep the same design for all your buildings and your rides and stuff. Just keep the same designs, but just kind of vary up the colors, you know? Same design, but different color is kind of a really easy way to kind of create unity, because it's the same architecture, it all looks the same, but, you know, it's a different part of the park, it has a different theme to it, so it should be a different color at least. So I think that's a really good way to sort of create that unity and all of that. So this was, I'll be honest with you, I really do like the way these Red Rocks pieces look, but it is very, very time consuming to make them. I don't recommend it because it's such a, I mean, I hate to say it, it's a chore to put together these Red Rock Canyon pieces. It's a lot of work, and I'll be honest, I thought it looked okay. I think it looks pretty good, but it's just not, it didn't look good enough for the work that I put in here. But I'm glad it's over. I'm glad I figured it out, and I'm glad that, you know, that I was able to do it. I'm glad that I was able to, and that it looks pretty decent and all of that stuff. And it did create some unity with that other mine coaster that I built in like the second or third episode. I think that really helps kind of mesh this whole park together. It makes it look a lot better. So yeah, I mean, this whole episode here is just, you know, fitting stuff together, filling in those empty spaces, connecting pieces to each other, and just making sure that this whole park is cohesive and all of that. So, you know, I felt this is the one coaster to me that does stand out from all the other ones. It looks a bit out of place because I tried to kind of stick with the wooden coaster types and the wooden rides and old-timey rides, but there just isn't enough of those to fill out the entire game. So I felt like a metal coaster that at least is sort of like a miney sort of thing. I thought that would be close enough. So that's where we ended up. That's why I went with the vertical drop, if in case you're wondering. So yeah, I think we're kind of starting to flesh this park out a little bit. I think it's starting to look a lot better. And this is sort of the one part of the park that, you know, I went into it, I was just sort of like, I really want to make a Red Rock section of this park. And it ended up just being like, just a giant pain in the ass. I mean, it just was the Red Rock thing. I probably am not going to do again. Just be aware. If you're going to do it, it looks pretty cool. It's just really, really difficult to actually make it look the way that you want it to. So just a heads up to all of you looking to do this in your park. So yeah, and then the one other thing that I kind of wanted to focus on in this episode is that I think double paths are really a very realistic looking thing in this game. I think double paths look a lot better than single paths, and that's something I didn't do in the first part of this series. Was like when I was building this park, I didn't really build any double paths, and I think I probably should have. I'm always sort of worried about the pathfinding, but I don't know. In OpenRCT, it's a lot better than it is in the original game, and it just looks a lot better. So I think it's definitely just, if you're thinking about doing putting a park together and kind of going full sandbox, double paths, great way to make it look better. just an easy way to do it. And so that's what I went ahead and I added a bunch of double paths in this park on purpose. This park itself is it's very hilly and very, it has a lot of weird like terrain features to it. There's this river and there's all these mountains and hills and all this stuff. So connecting all of that, everything together was kind of a challenge, but it ended up working out pretty well. I found a way to kind of build bridges over the water that looked appropriate and like these kind of boardwalk looking things, and I think it looks pretty solid. So that's what we went ahead and did. And a big goal in this series was that I had a bunch of rides that I'd built. They were finished, ready to open, but I just couldn't open them because they weren't either fully themed yet, or they weren't fully like operational, if that makes sense. And they were just like, my Mine Train coaster has just been sitting there for like 6 episodes now, just sitting there completely ready. It's been tested. It has all its stats ready. It's just kind of sitting there closed, just because I hadn't gotten to that area of the park yet. I finally got there. I finally opened it. I finally themed it. And it's actually one of my favorite coasters, honestly. Like, I wasn't sure how I was going to feel about it, but I think it actually looks really cool now that it's done. So, I just tried to kind of stick to a theme. Wooden roofs, the kind of scaffolding pieces, the wall pieces that have that opening. I'm not sure what those are, but they're very helpful. And they definitely fit the theme of this theme park. So shout out to Rollercoaster Tycoon developers for putting that in the game, which whoever you are, it saved me here. I think they look really cool, and it helped create some unity in this park and kind of make these queue line buildings look a lot more realistic. So yeah, and then so the other part of this that was kind of difficult to kind of piece together was the fact that there's kind of 3 distinct sections of this park. There's a desert section, a red rock section, and then a forest section, or a mining / woodland, whatever you want to call it. There's 3 sections, and kind of piecing them all together in a way that looks natural is really hard. Just because they're so different. They have different kinds of foliage, different like sand, and different all that stuff. And I definitely, one thing that does help a lot in that is if you build rides that are supposed to kind of fit into one section or the other, it actually helps to build a couple of rides that will kind of fit into either section. That's what this Virginia Reel is supposed to be. It's kind of supposed to fit into the woodland themed part of the park, and it's also supposed to be sort of desert themed a little bit too. So it's just black and brown, and that can be sort of either or, and it doesn't stand out a ton, and I think that does help it kind of blend into both areas of the park, and it blends the 2 areas together, in my opinion. The other part is just if you kind of blend the terrain and all of that stuff. There's a lot of things you can do to kind of blend the areas together, but that's definitely one of the ones that I found to be super helpful. So just a little tip for you guys watching, if you're not like a super, you're not a super Rollercoaster Tycoon nerd. That's sort of a fun one just for you guys to kind of see how I do it. Anyway, so I'll be honest, this building bothers me. I even still, I'm probably gonna go back in, fix it. In my Reddit post, I posted it, and nobody really said anything, so I kind of went, all right, I kind of got away with it. But if I'm honest, I wish I'd done something a little different. At least just kind of gotten rid of those wooden pieces, done something. And actually, I believe I did after I finished recording. I did fix it, so it does look different now. If you want to see what the finished product looks like, I'll post the Reddit link. I took a giant screenshot so you can zoom in, look at all the pieces of the park from top to bottom, whatever, all that stuff. All right, huge development is that the railroad. I missed it somewhere in this recording, but it's finally open. It's finally operational. I got all the train stations finished. That was definitely probably the most time-consuming part of building this theme park was the train stations, just because they're just so big, so ornate, and it just took a lot of time and effort to put those together, and it's finally open. Obviously the guests had to get to every area of the park before I could open it, And now that the whole park is kind of unified and pieced together, it's finally time to open it up and move people around the park. And I think it's probably my favorite ride in this entire park is my train stations. I think they look really cool. I think the train looks really cool, like kind of zigzagging through the park, and it comes around the outside, and it just fits. I think it fits the aesthetic of what I was going for, and I think it's what I was going for. We'll say that. So the other part about this was that I honestly didn't name any of the coasters till the end of this recording. So, and actually, they may not even be in this recording. So, you can kind of get a glimpse of what all of the coasters are called if you want to look at the Reddit post and my screenshot. And you can kind of see what I named everything and all of that stuff. Obviously, this is a long recording. It's 3 hours of footage, so I actually filled up my hard drive with recordings of this park. So unfortunately, I can't record anymore until I throw this up on YouTube and I can delete the footage. But for now, I think it's I don't think that's the hugest deal. And feel free, if you want to name one of the roller coasters that you saw in this video, feel free to name it. I won't be mad. I'm never mad at that. But it's pretty much it. We're pretty much done with this video. And thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. If you liked it, make sure to comment, subscribe, and like, all that stuff. And otherwise, that's going to be it for me. I will see you guys next time. Bye.